Oh, yeah. I have some of the most bullish Bitcoin metrics I've ever came across. I'm excited to share with everyone in the basement today. Donald Trump is coming back to Twitter in a cataclysmic return with Elon Musk and the SEC targets one of the world's largest decentralized exchanges. This is the chaos we live in, the days of our lives. Welcome one, welcome all to the blockchain basement. We got some homies in here. These guys are sparking a lot of joy. The world at large makes me feel a little bit heavy sometimes. So Jeremy, you make me feel happy with your comedy, your humor. Even though you're on the complete opposite spectrum of the political environment. And I think that that's an important note for everyone out there, is that we can still be great friends and think differently.
I think it's important to remember that the media environment has been conditioning people to think that there's like a big argument that needs to happen. But really, I think a lot of people agree on a lot of issues. So, I'm excited to be here, excited to be on the basement. Big thanks to Mark Norman for being on the basement. He's just off screen.
Yeah.
He has a throat issue, so he's not talking and he's off screen. But Mark Norman, really great that he could make it in.
Yeah, he's huge. And really, this young man that is in the basement with me, I have some huge plans, and I don't know if I should give it up yet. It's kind of a crazy plan. Do you think I should keep it quiet and be secretive about it? I mean, maybe if we hit enough likes, let's say if we hit 200 likes before the stream is up, I will let the cat out of the bag, and I'll let you know what I'm going to be planning to do here in the blockchain basement. You think I've been nuts before playing guitar and making music? It's about to get wild, guys. So
perfect. Can you hand me my guitar, good sir?
Yeah. Where is it? Oh yeah, it's right over there. Yeah, hand it to him. We got the Squire in the place. It's got the thumb fin on it, but we're gonna upgrade him. I was thinking Ibanez. I'm an Ibanez maxi.
I love Ibanez,
but the Gibson Les Paul has a serious country look to it, country twang. So now this weekend, we gained even more subscribers. We are cooking with gasoline right here. Nearly 60,000 subscribers. Shout out to everyone, all the new subscribers. If you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure to give us a subscription. Why don't you? And my Twitter is growing. I'm almost at 2,600. So shout out to all y'all. I put this tweet out this morning. Good morning, crypto degens. Maybe the real 1000x gains was the friends we've made along the way. And that's how I feel. The community here in the blockchain basement, you guys are absolutely awesome. Very based individuals. And I appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate every single one of our channel partners, and particularly Arculus. We have a code BASE10. If you don't already have cold storage for your crypto, you can support our channel. Take advantage of 10% off. This thing is awesome. It's a steel card and very sleek design, but honestly, it's 3-factor authentication. It's very, very easy to use. And that is one of the first and foremost things. I agree about it. But yes, shout outs. Shady Bandito, Station C4, Fluffy the Sheep, Sufficient Enough, Psychedelic Astronaut, MVNO, C90FTW, The Gold Doge, Isaac,
My bad.
Course. No, it's fine. It's fine. EDU Vids, Dirty Dan, Laserface, Bluegrass Man. Let's see here. Yeah, I appreciate every single one of you out there. Punjab, what's up, dude? Psychedelic Astronaut, Put Sats in Bowls, Bob from Accounting, all the G's. So let's get into it. On the crypto markets, things looking a little bit feisty, a little crazy. I was going against Crypto Face's thought last night that we were going to crash down, and it felt very, very uncomfortable. Really, we are not out of the woods yet. I'm not going to dance around any hills. Face put in a short somewhere up here in the 60 range, and he might still be yet. It's still a toss-up on if we're going back down into. I've heard a lot of people talking about. I don't think Face was talking about 53, but a lot of people calling for a pullback down to 53K, which would be below this nasty dip here. Look on the month. It's not too crazy to be watching out for a massive pullback. I mean, we just recently hit $49,900. So there is still time for pain in the markets, but in essence, I'm feeling like we're going to be able to hold this just from this original stumble 2 point right here. I'll back up a little bit so we can actually see more of this. Where we are right now has actually been a level that's been hit quite a few different times. If you see that right there, and this is a resistance point that we're at. This $60,000 level is resistance, but I think we got the gasoline in the tank to make it over it. So we'll be seeing it. And, I'm watching out on the trading in the short-term scalping. I'm watching out to enter a long to try to just catch a scalp long if Bitcoin is able to give me an entry point in 57.4. I was talking about last week trying to find something down here. It really doesn't look like it's going to go that way. So in the short term, looking to scalp off this 57.4 level if it comes to me. Now let's get into the Bitcoin stuff. This is from Matthew Highland, one of the best in the biz. Bitcoin's setting up the same way it's set up last year heading into Q4, as well as how it's set up in election years for 2012, 2016, and 2020. Isn't it incredible that the Bitcoin halving cycle is right in line with the election cycles? You know what I mean?
It's pretty interesting.
It is pretty interesting. Like, do you think, let me ask you guys a question. Do you think that Satoshi Nakamoto did this on purpose? Set up the Bitcoin halving to happen right as the election cycle happens and all the hope and all the money comes back into the markets for the people at the polls?
Could be an Olympics fan also.
Could be an Olympics fan. Okay, interesting. Did you see the breakdancing thing at the Olympics?
Breakdancing thing is interesting, right? Because they found out that she had like a PhD in like cultural movement, and it's probably like a little bit of her planting like the subject of her next few essays is what I think that was.
Dude, you could probably breakdance better than she did on that stage.
Certainly,
honestly.
with any amount of training, I think most people could, and I think that's almost like that's what she was going for. That's
Really?
Like, yeah, she's making a statement, 100%.
Making a statement.
I think it's like pretty costly, right? I think Australia didn't know that when they put her up there, but I think that ultimately this is going to be her like next anthropology essay is about that time she like flubbed her way onto the Olympics or whatever.
Wow.
Not a huge deal. You know, it's like fine. Scholars do that kind of thing, right?
Hold on. Some people work their whole lives to get to that stage. It's not a big deal.
This happens actually kind of frequently. Right now, the 34th best skier in the world is somebody who on purpose doesn't do any tricks because they just go to every event and then they just like slide down the thing without doing any tricks. And because they have so many qualifying points and they never crash, which damages a lot of people's score, they're actually ranked 34th. And they're kind of doing it to sort of like prove a point about how the system is broken or whatever. So there's like cases of people like doing exploits in these sports, and I'm like sort of like a gamer myself, so I can always kind of like thumbs up an exploit. Like,
I felt like I was living in the Twilight Zone watching that dance thing. You know, I really felt like I was living in the Twilight Zone. It bent my reality. Okay, I'll just say that. Now, and then Chemistry Bro has something interesting to add on to that. He thinks it's a coincidence that the elections line up with the Bitcoin halving cycle because of the 2008 financial crisis. And that is a very, very valid point. Bitcoin and the idea of it created out of the 2008 financial crisis. And something else I talked about this morning, I don't think Satoshi specifically mentioned, but I know is going on, is the Dodd-Frank Act. And it's actually a design where banks can bail into your bank account to fix the problems they've created. And we have some very, very scary news on the macro we're going to be talking about when it comes to the banks and the knife's edge that they are riding on right now. But let's go back to this graph. Let's check it out. So here is a highlight of 2012 and the time frame from July to November. You can see the massive wick upwards, massive wick downwards, a little bit of pain and chop before it really starts to take off in November. The same time block, July to October, highlighted here in 2016. And you could see just death and destruction at a point. I mean, Bitcoin had rose to nearly $800, fallen to $490, and then regained its power and then set up for that massive move after that election. I mean, essentially, actually, right before the election. And then 2020, July to October, same time frame. And I remember this time frame very, very well. For all that remember, this was the someone sneezed in China and caused this massive, massive sell-off. The economy shut down. People were scared for their lives. They thought this was the big one, the big kahuna. And even myself, prepper for a long time. I mean, I was a germaphobe before it was cool. I thought that it was going to be the actual like Resident Evil level moment.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
Interesting.
You know, it wasn't. And you were waiting for those really scary images out of China to turn into something more serious. The most serious thing that I saw happen was the controls from the government on the people, not necessarily the death and destruction from the disease. So,
did you spend a lot of time in the hospitals? That's where you would have seen a lot of the death and destruction.
You know what? I had a very interesting role. I was a contractor, and they had us basically set up to absorb and be around all of those people if they did get sick up in Fort Collins. The only people that were there were like meth addicts that were just like wanting free Netflix.
That's contractors.
Well, okay. I mean, it was just like, it was the
contractors.
craziest thing. Like, this person was supposed to be like super sick from it. You know, and obviously once you put someone on a ventilator, that puts extra stress on the lungs, right? Stretches them out over, you know, there's a lot of things to think about. But I go on rants about COVID too much. This is the July to October 2020 timeframe, and I remember the fear in the market. It was at an extreme high. People were thinking this was it. This is the big collapse. And really, you guys, this moment that we're in right now, currently, I feel like is very similar to this. And I think Michael highlighted it on this weekly close. Look at this disgusting chop that people are having to deal with on the Bitcoin price. Now, this is on weekly, and it was very, very healthy, in my opinion, to see price gobble up this massive wick to the downside within the week. This is not us. I mean, this actually looks very, very bullish to me. It looks like it is just an attempted sell-off. Really, you know, leverage trading on larger time frames. It's wrecking everybody on the upside and downside right now.
I
Like,
have
you
a
can see
question for you. So go back
What's
to
that?
the first Matthew Highland chart.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one right before that.
Yeah.
Do you think if Kamala ends up winning, we're going to see the same pattern, or do you think we're going to go in the opposite direction?
You know, I get asked that quite a bit, and I really don't think Kamala is going to try to destroy crypto the way that it's being talked about. I think that it's a bipartisan, we don't want China and these other countries to outpace America type deal, you know? And really, like, Kamala, the reason why I'm not voting for her is a myriad of reasons. But other than that, the policy at the border and, you know, if she's making all these promises, it's like, why aren't you already doing this as the vice president? I mean, she seems to be kind of in control. Joe was at the beach, just like napping as he should. It's nice to see him taking a break, but he's still technically the president. So it's kind of weird feeling. But yeah, Kamala, I really don't think is going to, one, have the ability to stop crypto, or two, think that it's wise to stop American competitiveness and innovation on like a world scale.
I think Kamala sort of on the aggregate represents business as usual. And so if you think that business as usual is after crypto takes this sort of like up and down, it shoots up dramatically, that'll probably happen. You know, if you think that's going to happen anyway, I don't think there's going to be a great, for exactly the reason you said, global competitiveness. We can't crack down on crypto. It's also not high priority, I don't think, for anybody in the government.
On the code words, I'm testing out. I left monetization on, and I'm going to see if they catch me again, or if it's okay to say her name again, because, you know, I mean, hyena, that's kind of a tough
I'm a
connection.
liberal, so it's like you're going to get up for me.
Yeah, they got to let us on air because Jeremy is on the show. Actually, he's my secret weapon.
That's right.
That's true. That's a good point.
I'm basically the Destiny of this office.
That's so true.
So,
dude, that guy Destiny is unhinged.
I like him.
You like him?
Yeah, I like his videos. I think he's funny.
Oh my god.
I think I like his January 6th whole thing that he's been doing. It's just been fun. Speaking of, well, that will be demonetizing. So never mind. I like some of the stuff that Destiny's been doing lately. His videos.
Well, but
I
you
think they're
said
funny.
it though, so it's probably okay.
It's fine. It's fine if I say it, but don't repeat me.
Yeah. Jeremy's very, very liberal, algorithmic robots. So there you go. Take that. Now, this from the Bitcoin Power Law Plan G. This is Giovanni. Highlighting it as a good sign to see liquidity model and the price coming closer together. Everything is getting ready for the show. I think what he meant to say for the November price pump to start.
Yeah.
And this is just a zoom in on it. Purple line is your liquidity, and the white line is the Bitcoin price. Seeing these things come together sets us up for that nice little pump you see there. Nice little pump you see there. And really, you know, in general, I really feel like the power law is one of the more reasonable long-term price metrics to be looking at. I don't necessarily feel like Plan B is useful anymore. But beyond that, like the power law may get invalidated if these Bitcoin ETFs and or the US government starts actually trying to back up the debt and the value of the dollar with Bitcoin. That's where these metrics can definitely change. So we got to keep that in mind. And Trump has mentioned backing the dollar with Bitcoin, but RFK was much more bullish on the outlook. He wants to buy $4 trillion worth of Bitcoin to back the US dollar with, which would be insane. That's insane bullishness for us.
It's the second most crazy thing I've heard RFK say this month.
Well, and have you heard about the RFK case where they're determining if he did or did not live in New York? Because he's got a house in California, and it looks like this might be his Achilles heel, honestly. Like the District of New York, they have a reasonable take. Like I love RFK, but it does look like he actually lived in California, was trying to claim that he lived in New York.
When he hit that bear?
Well, actually, no, he was trying to claim that he didn't live in New York because Shanahan's from New York. No, the bear is completely separate.
Okay, good.
The bear in Central Park, that is completely separate.
That shouldn't be a real issue. That should be like a meme issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I really think that he's going to have some headwinds. And that is something we got to think about. It would be nice to see a third party rise up in the United States just to keep the other two parties more reasonable.
If you want a third party, you have to support ranked choice voting.
Ranked choice voting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The easiest way to do that is to get involved in your local elections. I'm a big proponent these days of the national election doesn't matter, in favor of know who your local candidates are and vote according to that. And we got to rebuild this government from basically the local level up.
You know what? We're going to talk about safety committees.
Finally.
Since you brought it up, here's a quick reminder on what safety committees are and our rights here in America. The committees of safety were local organizations created in 1774 by the First Continental Congress to help implement the American independence movement. These emergency panels of leading citizens were a driving force behind the Revolutionary War in small towns. They were responsible for many duties, including regulating the economy, politics, morality, and militia. Well-regulated militias right there at a local level. Fantastic. Suppressing loyalists, procuring military supplies, raising revolutionary forces, overseeing civil and criminal justice, and enforcing resolutions such as trade boycotts and price ceilings, spreading Whig propaganda, Bullish, and making military preparations, seizing and selling imported goods, reshipping enslaved people and other imports, and punishing violators of the Continental Association with boycotts. So when we talk about this, regaining control of our country, it really is at a local level. It's not some figure that they're going to choose to lead the federal government of the United States. Changing our lives in a better way is a much more local conversation than anything else going on. So me and DZ live in the same district, Paulding County, and we might be running against each other. You live in Paulding County?
I live in Paulding County.
No shit.
I'm like right on the edge. Like one street
Yeah?
is Paulding, and the other street is
Okay.
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 It's a little interesting.
Dude, we can hang out more.
We should.
I went and
100%.
I put a bunch more chickens on the land this weekend. Little baby chicks. And just because it's election season, I had to put more chickens on the land. And my new neighbor is fantastic. I have this new neighbor. She's also very liberal, and we get along great.
Makes sense.
It's just like we talk about these dichotomies, right versus left. It really is not that way on the local level, you guys.
Are you starting a new wholesome arc? First, he's on Twitter like, I just love my family. And now he's like, I'm getting along with everybody. Soon he's just going to be like,
get along with everyone. I really do. Like, until you give me verifiable reasons to punch you in the throat, like, I'm going to be a nice guy.
I feel like you took a tumble with a Balrog lately, and you're coming back as like Drew the White, and you're like, we'll all just get along. Okay.
Well, Jeremy, there is something dangerous in my mind when it comes to thinking about the polarization in this country, is that if it continues to spiral downhill, then we will end up in an 1861. And that is brother versus brother, and that's nothing that anybody wants to see. So, and on the bullish side for Bitcoin, just back to, I talked about RFK rolling the idea of buying $4 trillion worth of Bitcoin to back the US dollar. We put out a video very recently, maybe one of the best videos I've ever filmed, and Isaac on the editing just absolutely crushed this thing.
Beautiful.
It got well underserved though. You guys got to go check this video out. It's only under 1,000 views so far, but this lays out the insanely bullish situation that we are setting up for. And really, we have a situation where political pundits are going to be arguing for our support. So what better of a situation to be positioned in crypto, right? Like either side, I think even the hyena is going to have to bow to the power of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is this unstoppable force meeting the unmovable object of the U.S. government. It's urban versus rural, not left versus right. Shout out to you, Pops. My dad is, he's an absolute G. I miss you, Dad. I'm going to try to get out to Colorado and see you sometime soon. Now, on Bitcoin reserves on exchanges, we are seeing levels not hit since 2018 for the amount of Bitcoin available on these exchanges. According to data from Crypto Quant, Bitcoin reserves on centralized exchanges have plummeted to a level not seen in over 6 years. That is absolutely crazy to think about. And this is the supply constraint of Bitcoin, how it's designed, the mathematical setup of Bitcoin to be finite. And now it's on top of it. You're talking about government officials considering backing the US dollar with it. But we also have the Department of Defense looking at Bitcoin to actually harden our digital infrastructure and grid as we head into the third world championship. So that is an important thing to keep in mind, you know, and we hear all these conversations, more reasonable, that likely the bigger portion of the third world championship will be fought on a digital battlefield. So thinking about that, you know, setting up ourselves in Bitcoin, we're basically front running the entire world. It's pretty incredible. Now, tonight at 8 p.m., it looks like Elon Musk is going live with the orange one himself, Donald Trump. This is going to be absolutely insane. I saw the test stream from Elon. He was just testing his system to see how it ran. Let's see how many views it ended up getting, because this went absolutely nuts. Test 2. Let's see here. I'll click in on this. You don't need the sound here. I just want to see how many views.
He was playing Diablo 4?
Yeah, dude. I mean, it got like, the last time I looked at it, it was over, yeah, look at this, 10 million impressions.
Horrible taste in video games, Elon Musk.
You don't think Diablo's good?
The new Diablo leaves a lot to be desired. Especially, I mean, old Diablo fans will tell you that. It's got pretty much nothing in comparison to Diablo 3 or 2.
Okay. Is this foreboding that he tested the stream by playing Diablo because he's getting ready for Trump?
I think that's, you know, there is something to be said for, like, if he was playing a better video game, I'd feel a lot better about his stream.
Now, this, I mean, just the test got 10 million. I'm thinking this interview gets about 20 million views within 24 hours. How many people are going to watch this, do you think, Jeremy?
You know, the benefit of Elon is that he doesn't play fair with his platform, so it's going to be in front of every single person that uses Twitter as soon as they open the app. You know, 30 million.
30 million?
30 million.
Okay, you're even more bullish than me.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's going to be, if I open my phone at any point in the time that it's live, I'll see it, and that's going to be true for everybody there.
Yeah.
I am saying I think that he's putting his finger on the scale a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, he did pay $42 billion for that scale.
Fair enough, I guess.
That's a chunk of change.
So that's an awesome chat, by the way. He should have been playing GTA. I've been playing Wayfinder lately. If you like Wayfinder, I think that game totally got... What is Wayfinder? So it's a game that totally got like gypped when it was getting made, because it was originally billed as a live service game, which nobody was a fan of, and then that got taken down and released as like a regular game. And the new regular game got bad press because it was previously a live service game, but the game's actually pretty good. So if he was playing Wayfinder, I'd be bullish on Elon. I'd probably vote for Trump, but since it's Diablo, I'm not about it.
Oh man,
I know.
Damn it,
barely missed.
Isaac, what do you think? I mean, I feel like I'm underselling it. Now it's probably going to be more than 20 million, but I got to stick to what I said. How many views do you think this Elon and Trump interview is going to get
within 24 hours?
Within 24 hours.
Within 24 hours, I want to say 33
million?
Yeah, 33
This is
million.
like the Price is Right.
I'm getting prices righted a little bit here.
Yeah.
That's fine, but
It's fine.
I just want to say it out loud so people think that I know what's going on.
I'm going to be watching. I might go live with Joshua Jake tonight. Talking about. I'm going to need some whiskey though before and then they may get banned if they bring me on stage. You know, they definitely may get banned. So I'll be watching out for that. But what I do have in mind, crypto-wise, on Trump is this post from Sistine Research talking about 3 for 3 on Trump token falling wedges. He's targeting $16 while ETH looks primed. And I am absolutely in agreement that ETH looks primed for a major, major move. It's well beaten down in comparison to Bitcoin. A lot of people fading it. And usually when you have a bunch of people fading a project and they're talking shit about it, that's when it's about to get amazing. And these are 3 different falling wedges. This one, very drastic. It pumped up to about just about over $12 and then fell down into this $5 range. Again, another less drastic falling wedge. That's basically an accumulation zone, and a third falling wedge. So he's looking for a major breakout. And my bags are packed on this Trump token. I've had a chance to know and spend time with the founders. I have kind of insight on the charities that Trump token has given millions of dollars to, supporting victims of child sex abuse and veterans in this country. So if there's any meme coin out there that I'm willing to support, first and foremost, it would be Trump token, because they are putting their money where their mouth is and they're helping their local community in a big way. So shout out to you, Steven, Sean, and the whole team at Trump token. Now, Trump dropped a ad, and we got to play this. So let's send it.
Play the Trump ad.
The winner of the presidential race, Donald Trump, wins the presidency. What started off as unlikely, impossible, is now reality.
I will fight for you with every breath in my body, and I will never, ever let you down.
We have a president who actually fulfilled the promises he made during the campaign, securing the border to foreign policy.
He now has a record as president that's pretty damn impressive.
Breaking news out of Palm
The
Beach,
FBI
Florida.
has executed an unprecedented search warrant at President Donald Trump's
against a
Mar-a-Lago
former
estate.
president has both sides of the political aisle up
Is
in
a
arms.
dangerous and unstable moment in American history.
The Justice Department has just indicted former President Donald Trump.
7 years. They hated him, they targeted him, they hunted him.
This is the epitome of the abuse of the prosecutorial power to preempt political decisions.
I never thought anything like this could happen in America. The only crime that I have committed is to fearlessly defend our nation from those who seek to destroy it.
This is crazy. And just a reminder, seeing this moment replayed of Nancy Pelosi undermining Trump when he was president. Do you remember when she did this, Nancy Pelosi? She rips up policy right behind him as he's speaking.
When was this? During the State of the Union?
It was either the State of the Union or one of his other speeches. I don't remember exactly what the speech was labeled, but I remember the moment well. And it just showed me and recodified like how polarized the left had become. And honestly, Jeremy, I understand you're voting left, but in Boulder County, very many people are voting left.
Yeah.
And if I was out there floating a Trump flag, they call me racist just for having a certain political figure connected to me. And it really was quite upsetting because I voted for Obama. And then I saw 8 years of Obama. I decided not to vote for Obama the second term.
Sure.
I made my own decisions.
Mm-hmm.
I was in music. A lot of people are very liberal in music. And I also got kind of pushed out of the music scene because of those political ideals as well. And so being reminded of that, just, the polarization just really, really sucks. And it should be about policy and being okay. If your neighbor thinks that Kamala's policy is going to be better, don't throw eggs at them for voting that way, but it should go the other way because, when you have governments leveraging the attorney general against political opposition, that's a very, very dangerous slope to go down.
Sure.
That's a very, very dangerous slope to go down. And so just being reminded of those things, that's a very powerful advertisement or short that Trump had put out today. I wonder how many views it's gotten. This one.
Yeah, let's find out.
Yeah, 15.6 million so far. Trump is going on a rampage on Twitter, honestly, bro. He's posting quite a bit of stuff. 37 minutes ago, 1.3 mil, 2.2 mil. I mean, he has a lot.
That's engagements, right? So
yeah, this is insight/engagement views. And really, you can see the people are coming back to him in a pretty big way. But there is, a large contingent of people that are happy that it's Kamala, not Joe Biden, that they're.
So talk to me about your take on, the Donald Trump, he's doing the interview with Elon Musk. Is this flailing? Is he sort of reacting to the polls, not necessarily sliding in his direction after Kamala?
And the poly market polls, I feel like there's some arbitrage going on. I feel like there are 3-letter agencies that saw Poly market was becoming this like obvious voice for the people that were betting on chain.
Sure.
And so they went and put heavy bets of their own on chain. That's what I actually think is going on with that. Because Camel is in the lead by like 54% on Poly market. It makes no sense to me. What do you say? What, call?
I'm yeah, amazing. You weren't born out of a coconut tree yesterday, you know, Kamala all the way.
So, I haven't found, like, I have to come near Atlanta and you're voting for Kamala, but where I live, bro, it is like pure Trump. Like,
yeah, everybody where you live wants to vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah, it's just kind of, but again, you go to the city center, it's like all the Kamala voters will be in city centers once again, and rural America is going for Trump. That's kind of what it feels like. But, you know, the time will tell. And I have a concern because all those 3-letter agencies have to do is get it within a questionable degree of closeness, and then they can arbitrage the rest. All they have to get there is, you know, 40%, and they can get the other 11% themselves. That's my fear. That's my fear, man, because nothing changed on those voting systems.
That makes sense. I don't quite have that same fear just because I feel like it held pretty strong last time, despite some pretty severe like attempts the other way.
Mm-hmm.
But back to the question I did ask you strategically, is Trump doing this interview because he is flailing? And I also I think that one of the big things that Trump needs to do to be viable in this election is get away from the grievance politics. So I think the message of they're prosecuting me, they're trying to get me down is like not a strong one for Donald Trump. And the ad still had a little bit of that, and every time that happens, I think it's like a miss.
Well, and even if it's true, it's like
it's not helping him win this election.
It's like a complaint, right?
Yes.
And you have to give people hope. Like, people vote on the strongest emotions are fear and hope. So, you know, the fear is not as strong as the hope narrative. So I think that Trump needs to focus more on his policy and how he's going to turn this economy around, which he did get pretty close with the conversation at Bitcoin Nashville.
Yep.
And I think that if he keeps pushing that narrative forward, you know, that's where the partisanship might come out and rear its ugly head from the Democrats. Be like, no, we don't want to do that. So this is a pretty important time we're coming up. And really, as we head near the election, for the front half of this title, I'm actually looking for us to accomplish damn near $80,000. I feel like the monetary policy is going to have to ease for a myriad of reasons that we're going to get into in a few minutes here. But I am looking for around $80,000 at the end of this year per Bitcoin. Now, on the time frame for when altcoin season, I'll start off the next segment of the show with that. But we thankfully still have time to accumulate. Isaac, let's run that mid-roll.
The Blockchain Basement is powered by Arculus. This is the world's leading crypto cold storage where you can easily secure, buy, swap, send, and receive all your crypto with a simple tap using 3-factor authentication to make sure to keep your assets safer than ever. Make sure to support the channel. Use code BASE10 and click the link down in the description to get your hands on your security today.
All right, here we are. So beyond all the politics, all the identity politics that everyone's stuck in, and you know, me myself included, like I have a Trump flag behind me. You know, I clearly identify as a Trump voter.
Sure.
And I understand, you know, that there's people, yourself included, you're going to vote someone else. But I think that Bitcoin is the ultimate vote, and being able to become our own banks and take the power away from these central banks to control the velocity of our money is the most important vote we've ever had in humankind. Like, I really feel that way. Now, you asked something about Bitcoin dominance. I showed you this morning. For anyone that hasn't seen this, I feel comfortable buying altcoins for essentially all the way up to the election. And here's why. Second Bitcoin halving, and there was less altcoins involved, so there's less volatility on the Bitcoin dominance levels, but it lasted right around 231 days. Again, you take the third halving to the same metric. When did it start falling off a cliff? 231, 238 days. Right now, amidst all the win altcoin season pain that everyone's going through right now, we are only about 112 days into this post-halving time frame, and I'm going to be stacking right up until the end of November. As you can see, this comes up November 25th. So that is my time frame for playing these altcoin markets. And I get a spam caller calling me. Unbelievable. Now, I want to look at the altcoin prices, things that I'm very, very bullish on. And first and foremost, I topped off the bag of MAGA token at $3. I did buy some at $5, and before that at $1.50. Right now, here's MAGA token. And beyond all the politics and stuff, I think this MAGA token is going to absolutely send. One of the most popular people on the planet, and I'm looking forward to some tasty gains on the MAGA token. Now, another one I saw going off on me is streaming to wake up is Seamless. This is on the base chain. And oh my God, it's woken up. So this is the daily. And we'll just back up because it has been waiting for its time to shine. Seamless is looking like it's rearing its little head. And essentially my buys were right at about $2. But it was aggravating to see it go even lower than that at $1.74. Still held. And right now, I really feel like Seamless is a sleeper. This is a massive sleeper at $29 million market cap. That's really going to surprise some people. You had the initial release, the insiders getting rid of all their tokens, and now it looks like we have found our comfy spot where we might be able to finally see that upswing for Seamless. So feels good, man. Now, I did see some bearish stuff, though.
I wanted to talk a little bit about Seamless, only because I'm at Atlanta Blockchain Center a lot in Buckhead, and they're really big on base chain.
Yes.
And they're sort of looking for their base chain champion. So I'm always very interested whenever something on base comes up as a prospective pick. And so that's my opinion about crypto is that I'm looking for the base chain champion. So maybe it's Seamless.
Well, I mean, there's a reason why I say that Base is going to take everything over. It's because I saw the Department of Justice basically try to push down Binance and make way for Coinbase. Now we see Coinbase is essentially like one of the largest holders of Bitcoin on the planet through these ETFs. And we're also having the conversation about how the Treasury is going to utilize Bitcoin to back it. And it's likely going to choose Coinbase to do so. This Seamless project is DeFi borrowing on the base chain using Seamless. So I really feel like DeFi in general has been slept on. And we were talking about how excited we were about Aave. Yeah, it did pretty good. It probably had a pretty good pullback, though, honestly. Aave might have an opportunity zone for us right now because this with this rebranding, they had like a momentary pump. They were moving, God. Look at that. No, like this is during a bunch of pullbacks for a bunch of really good projects, including Bitcoin. Look at Aave's strength right now. This is incredible to see. Let's go to the 1 year. Yeah, this is looking juicy. Still looking juicy. A moment of excitedness seeing this chart for Aave, but we do have some headwinds for Uniswap, and as the SEC has some questions about Uniswap and the VCs in the original up and come here, several venture capital funds, including Andreessen Horowitz and Union Square Ventures, have received letters from the SEC over their involvement with the decentralized crypto exchange operator Uniswap Labs, per multiple sources. Uniswap raised over $170 million in VC funding, mostly in late 2022 at nearly $1.7 billion in valuation. Bit of irony is that Uniswap is less vertically integrated than the SEC by nor Coinbase, and in that it's not really the broker. Also worth noting that even if Uniswap Labs was shut down as a company, the actual product would keep running. So this is the SEC a little upset about this cat in an open prairie that snorted a bunch of cocaine, and you're not going to be able to catch it. You know, sure, it's aggravating to see a decentralized swap happening outside of these government controls, but they're not going to be able to shut it down. On Uniswap, I have compared Uniswap's past to what we're talking about. Kind of, you know, we talk about how bullish base chain is. Aerodrome, I want to check in on the price of Aerodrome. Chat just reminded me because I feel like 50 cents is the back the truck up moment for Aerodrome. We might get another chance at that. 50 cents is essentially in this little range right here. It is looking like it's a little pullback. Yes, there is still, you know, months and months of waiting for actual altcoin season to happen for us here. So if I see another dip down in the 50 cent range, that will excite me because then I will feel comfortable buying more Aerodrome. And really, you know, the original buy was at 18 cents. I added more at 50 cents. And you're damn right, it took profits up here. But that's why I like seeing these 50 cent pump down twos because then I can once again build my portfolio big and bad and get ready to do it. And this is a quick reminder, when you're in these altcoins, they move very, very aggressively. And even in an accumulation market, I saw Avalanche go from $10 to $52, $54, and I took a shitload of profits off of that. Don't feel bad, taking profits. Nobody goes poor taking profits. You got to remind that of yourselves. And, you got to be able to sustain yourselves. Inflation's crazy. I treat crypto as a more aggressive savings account. So that's kind of how I view it. They're talking about CBDC. CBDC is terrible for crypto. Agree, Mike Hawk. CBDC's benefits now. Oh my God, Michael Moore. The overall idea of CBDCs, I feel like if people are brought to their knees and they are begging for money like they were during the COVID snap, that's how you force CBDCs on the people.
Okay.
The average person is going to give up their security, their privacy for that short-term help. And I pray to God that my crowd is based enough to deny them. And really, if they say, oh, you can't work or you can't buy groceries or anything like that, what do you think I have a bunch of chickens running around my property for? It's to become ungovernable, right? So that they can't force me into anything. So on top of that, we've already had like 5 states in the United States make them illegal. So they're going to have to roll that back. Guess what? That's going to take another 5 years. CBDCs really aren't going to be anything tangible to worry about until, one, they roll away the illegality that multiple states have deemed CBDCs to be, which is going to take years, and then they build out the infrastructure to actually release it. So got to keep that in mind. Now, this is an interesting article I saw. Tether is denying Celsius's Bitcoin lawsuit. Tether, limited issuer of USDT, has dismissed a lawsuit from Celsius Network, calling it baseless, an attempt to shift responsibility for its financial troubles. Tether described the lawsuit filed on August 9th in the U.S. Bankruptcy Court of the Southern District of New York as a meritless shakedown. The legal dispute centers around a 2022 agreement between Tether and Celsius. Celsius claims that Tether wrongfully liquidated $2.4 billion worth of Bitcoin collateral in June of that year. Celsius argues the liquidation was unjust and seeks the return of the Bitcoin. Goddamn, Tether is smart as shit. They liquidated $2.4 billion of the Bitcoin right before that nasty, gut-wrenching pullback. That is crazy. Tether, however, asserts that the liquidation occurred with Celsius direction and consent based on the Bitcoin prices in June of that year. Tether provided USDT to Celsius, which offered Bitcoin as collateral, and Celsius later filed a bankruptcy in June 2022 due to financial difficulties. And honestly, Celsius, I feel like, did so many things incorrectly, over-leveraged, kept moving and building this house of cards on God mode. And this is what happens when you fuck around and find out. Celsius is finding that out. One of the main thing that really drives me nuts is the the clawbacks that Celsius is trying to push in place. Like, let's say you're a Joe Schmo out there with a couple $1,000,000 on Celsius, and you pulled out your money before the gigantic collapse of the Celsius brand and exchange itself. Not really an exchange, it's a lending protocol. And then now you're responsible for paying that money back plus some to Celsius so that they can make right all of their wrongdoings. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. And like, this is the whole idea of the bank bail-ins, why I always talk about bank bail-ins, because there's a major problem with bank bail-ins being available to these Federal Reserve banking hawks to be able to do so. Like, the American people should not have to pay for the leveraged God mode activities that these banks have been operating on. And I do worry about those cows coming home to roost. And it is highlighted by this next story from the Kobayashi letter. The delinquency rate on commercial mortgage-backed securities for offices spiked to 8.1% in July, the highest in 11 years. Delinquency rate of the office CMBS loans had quadrupled in 1.5 years. Quadrupled 4 times in 1.5 years. Delinquencies are currently rising at a faster pace than during the 2008 financial crisis. Ooh, I got to start over this thing here. Hold on. I got to show you guys. This graph is absolutely crazy, because we're talking about levels of delinquency not seen since the 2008 housing crisis. And I really, really feel like the United States economy is in for a world of hurt after they get through these elections, because there is the elephant in the room is these mortgage-backed securities that is dragging banks underwater, and they are mortgage-backed securities. Where is Gary Gensler when he's sitting here yelling at us and all of our cryptos, and that's a security, and this is a security, and that's allowed, and that's not allowed, while ignoring the nearly $1 trillion in unrealized losses that are sitting in background waiting to gut banks. Now, these delinquencies, as I said, rising at a faster pace since the housing crisis. The top AA rated CMBS experienced a $40 million loss in May for the first time since that time frame. And commercial real estate bankruptcies are coming. So this is the delinquency rate of office CMBS loans, and that is jackknifing. That is move my face out of the way so we can see back here too. This is 2008. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. We had a housing crisis, the creation of Bitcoin, because he could see it was a house of cards and everything was getting ready to crumble. And it jackknifed all the way up here. But now it looks like we have pretty much a worse velocity on this death spiral for these delinquency rates. And it's not looking good. These large office buildings are being sold for pennies on the dollar. And it also has to play with politics, Jeremy, because a lot of them are in city centers and the executives don't want their people getting hit in the side of the head on the way in the office.
And work from home is such a good, cheap alternative these days. You know,
yes.
I think commute, I have an hour-long commute to get here. So I work from home 2 days out of the week. You know what I mean? So I'm a fan. Commercial real estate, you know, it's hard for me to shed a tear over big commercial real estate ending up with a lot of bankruptcies. You know, hope it works out for them and I get to buy an office building for pennies on the dollar and live in that.
You know, we could start something pretty amazing. That actually gets my gears spinning. Like maybe we should, with the profits, like buy these big empty buildings and just do something fun, like an airsoft paintball.
We're currently sitting in a big empty building that we did something fun with. So I'm like a little confused. Are you like behind
no,
everybody
I'm thinking
else
for
here?
myself.
Oh,
I'm thinking for myself.
Okay.
Because I could turn it into, I've always wanted a paintball airsoft place to just run itself. A bunch of people show up and shoot each other and pay me. Like, how wonderful is that?
And you could use it as like an operations training ground, like house clearing and stuff like that. When, you know, when the world goes to absolute shit.
No
but,
biggie.
You know,
and then I got the
right?
goon squad already picked out.
Yeah.
They already know how to pie corners. You can raise them up from, God, I mean, I think the youngest age is 12. That can go play airsoft.
Yeah.
And nothing is more humbling than getting dusted by a 12-year-old.
This is so great because Drew's like, I wonder why I get demonetized sometimes. And then on his show, he's like, we could train 12-year-olds to be in our militia.
Ooh, I didn't say that. You said that.
And it's like, oh, yeah.
It's okay if you say it, though, remember. You know, but I mean, these 12-year-olds are good. If they start out at that age, I mean, they're small. You don't see them coming. You know what I mean? You don't expect that. But
they haven't met me either. So we haven't got there yet.
Yeah, you're a feisty one.
Hell yeah.
Now, this is from Genevieve Roche Decker. U.S. bankruptcy soaring. Total filings are up 34% year over year in the first half of 24. So this doesn't look like it has any rate of slowing down. And a lot of people are not acknowledging this. I think that the election, they're going to cook the books, do some quantitative easing, pull back interest rates just slightly. Like everything's okay. Don't run, everyone. Come 2026, you better have your shit together because I think that it will be very, very ugly. And I think it'll mirror some of the interest rates that we experienced in the 1980s, where you had mortgages that went up to a 14% interest rate. And that is going to be very, very painful for the average person that's not involved with crypto ahead of time or doesn't have tangible assets or cash flowing businesses. Things are going to get really ugly for the middle and lower class. So it is something to watch out for. And I am definitely going to buy a tank. So clearly that is, I don't think they'll ban me for saying that because it's still an availability. And I'm totally going to do it. Now, the U.S. Secretary of Defense orders the USS Abraham Lincoln to accelerate its transit to the Middle East and dispatches the USS Georgia to the region as well. This is all in light of the conflicts that are going on between the ventriloquists and Iran. So it is going to get very, very ugly over there. We saw some of the front end dabblings of it, a couple drones, a couple, missiles, but I think that actually this thing is going to turn pretty ugly. And that in addition to what's coming with Mark Twain. I gave you the index or the legend for that one, but Mark Twain and China are coming shortly after as well. So the bull run, these posts are kind of funny, but I mean, they're not too crazy when you look at it forest through the trees here. This guy's highlighting the COVID dip more so. I think that in relevance to the Bitcoin price action, let's go here, bam, go to all, because everyone's looking for the good times, right? They're thinking that we're just like right here. And honestly, we're pretty damn close to that time frame here. I'll pull this a little bit closer so we can see, because by time frame, we should be sitting here ranging in like the $45,000 range. We are a little spoiled right now from the Bitcoin ETFs. And I think that this time frame of having Bitcoin ETFs available to Wall Street, not only that, but Ethereum ETFs with staking gives us the velocity to actually accomplish a $7 trillion plus market cap for crypto. But if we see RFK / Trump conversation of back in the US dollar with, 4 million Bitcoin, you'd be looking at a $5 trillion market cap for Bitcoin in and of itself. So I'm trying to be reasonable with those expectations. But when I say that, keep in mind that my price targets are, at the top end around $250,000 for this market peak. And I do not expect us to accomplish $1 million Bitcoin this cycle. By any means, you have to hit I think it's a $20 trillion market cap to be $1 million Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's not, don't worry, don't predict that.
No, I'm not. And I'm just kind of warning people of that prediction though, because it'll come. And you guys that are out there watching this, you're going to have a lot of people coming up and asking about, is Bitcoin going to keep rolling? When it's at 250,000, there's going to be the $1 million Bitcoin talk going on. And really, I really want you guys to keep that in mind, that the market cap has to, let's go to Coin Perspective just to show this, because I really don't think that we're going to accomplish a $20 trillion market cap this cycle on Bitcoin. I know it's crazy, right? It's nuts, but I really feel that way. And I'm saying this so you guys can help me warn people about that narrative when it comes. Look at this. Let's see here. So 10 trillion.
Doesn't even go that high.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can put it custom in. So let's just put 20 trillion in. This is the $1 million Bitcoin everyone's looking for. $20 trillion as a market cap for Bitcoin. I don't think we're going to get that. I really feel like the more reasonable price target for this market is right in the $3 to $5 trillion market cap range.
Sure.
And I try to keep things level headed, because a lot of people really, they think that, this hyper cycle is going to be, the Bitcoin standard and it's all just happening before our eyes. It's going to take time for us to get to that level. What? Roosevelt Taylor, African Americans aren't welcome anymore? I don't know what the hell. Where did they get that from?
Yeah, I mean, I said I went to Atlanta Blockchain Center this past week. So I'm ostensibly a friendly show, but that's fine.
I mean, that's a really weird take.
That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen
that's
in the comment section
weird.
before.
Is it the hat? Is it the hat?
Might be the hat.
I got a bunch of brothers asking me where to buy this thing from. I went to the water park with my kids, and I had like 6 conversations on where I bought it. And that's the most I've been talked to in that regard in a long time. It's like
Nashville.
Yeah, I mean, well, Nashville was super fun.
Oh, yeah.
I need to go back to Nashville.
Oh, we got Vegas next year, so we don't got to worry about it.
I'm going to Vegas in September.
Are you?
To play the Disney trading card game.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I won a lot of money when I went to Dallas.
Oh my god.
I could win a couple of Bitcoins if I go to Vegas. Yeah.
Really?
It's a lucrative, been a great game for me.
Okay. We got to talk about Ethereum here, because yes, I really think that Ethereum is poised for a massive price move here. Well beaten down in comparison to Bitcoin. Let's pull this up here. Just on the year, you can see the beatings have continued for Ethereum. There's a couple reasons why people are getting concerned. Let's see here. Where is this? Yeah. So a whale, this is Bullish. This whale bought 1,800 ETH for $4.7 million this morning. Whale accumulated 37,800 ETH since May of 2024. But then you have very early buyers in. This person that was involved with the ICO, Whale received $1 million Ethereum at a price of 31 cents a piece, deposited 5,000 Ethereum, worth $13 million to OKX. 12 hours ago, the whales deposited 48,500 ETH to this exchange at an average price of $31,776. So you have some ETH whales that were well in advance to this whole market. Yeah, I would be selling Ethereum right now. If it was 31 cents when you got it, you know what I mean? Now you're looking at near $3,000 a unit. Like, yeah, can you blame them?
No.
Yeah, I mean, when I last cycle, I bought my Ethereum. I bought a bag of Ethereum for $180 a piece. I offloaded that without any problem at $4,500.
My general rule on crypto is that if selling crypto will solve every single problem in your life and make you rich forever, then that is a good time to sell.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. When you can tangibly change your life with that sale, you know, that's what's up about it. But something else going on with Ethereum is the gas fees. The gas fees hit a record low since the 2019 timeframe. Ethereum's medium gas fee dropped to just 1.9 GUI on August 10th, the lowest level since mid-2029. This marks a staggering 98% decline from the year-to-date high of 83.1 GUI in March. Ethereum's gas fees have hit historic lows. Low priority transactions were priced at just 1 GUI, or about 7 cents. Wow. The gas fees so low, only 210 ETH were burned on August 12th, the lowest daily burn rate this year, and this has led to an increase in the network's inflation rate. That whole update to the merge that we were all around for, man, it needs a little bit more activity to be going into play, and there's tons of layer 2s that are pulling away because you can operate on a layer 2 for pennies right now. So you got to keep that in mind with over 2,000 ETH added to the supply. Drop in fees attributed to the growing adoption of these layer 2 solutions and blob transactions via Denkun upgrade in March. These developments have reduced the cost on these layer 2 networks. So data from the L2 beat shows layer 2 activity has surged. We've all seen it with Base, with Optimism, with Arbitrum. Over 109 million transactions in the past 30 days compared to 33 million transactions on Ethereum's main chain. So that is crazy. These layer 2s are doing 3x the transactions of the actual Ethereum chain. Gnosis co-founder Martin Kopelman expressed concerns over the low gas fees, noting that Ethereum needs more layer 1 activity to sustain staking awards, which typically requires fees of at least 23.9 GUI. But what I see actually happening is this staking of true good old-fashioned Ethereum in an ETF fashion. I think that's going to get approved in November.
Interesting.
I do think it's going to get approved in November. So you better hold on to your hat if they move forward with that, because Wall Street is going to FOMO in like nobody's business. And really, when you look at BlackRock working with Ondu and all these other RWA plays that are on Ethereum, these institutions don't give a shit about a $500 transaction fee when they're moving, $2 billion worth of assets. Like, that is something you got to keep in mind. We talk about how exciting Solana is, that you can get in and out for a penny. This is chump change in comparison to the institutional money that's coming into Ethereum in and of itself. So you have to take it with a grain of salt and understand the perspective there. And this is just a major pain here. An unknown user accidentally spent $90,000 in gas to transfer $2,200 worth of Ethereum. Holy God. I can't even imagine that moment. I believe it was someone that had been actually mining the Ethereum as well. So that is just pain. Be careful about how you're doing your transactions. Make sure you're noticing the gas fees. Take your time, breathe in, breathe out, slow, smooth is fast, folks. Now, despite all this noise and volatility, Ethereum's scaling process is unstoppable. The rollups are processing 24.9 times the transactions per second than the ETH main chain. And this is where like fun upside for these layer 2s can be found. Really feel like Optimism powering Base. That is going to be a massive narrative coming down the pipe for us. And now, really, what else do we got here? This is, I'm going to cover this as well. There's some huge announcements that Mr. Diggles, the man behind DAG, Constellation DAG, is having meetings with the Undersecretary of the United States this week. They're flying out to meet the team and get an update on the efforts. And this is probably, in his words, the biggest meeting yet for Project Iron Spider. This is another sleeper I'm still holding, stacking. Feel happy that the prices are beat down. Honestly, I feel happy that all the FUD and all the worry about tokenomics changes out there, because this one is one of the most verifiable connections to governmental institution of crypto that I can possibly find out there. And bring me the FUD, bring me the cheaper prices, because I'm going to be stacking hard. Now, I have considered getting one of these for a while. I have inclination to get out of the Sienna and into a Sequoia. Once the kids can reach like the seat, like get into the Sequoia. That's the whole thing that I like the minivan for. But this is something, I don't really need sound for these, that I'm going to be adding to the top of the Sequoia. Just one of these fold out tent systems.
These are always pretty sick.
You know, like being able to just modularly set up your house, your living quarters, take the family out, and plop them up there with not much problems. Even obviously I have the tent and all the camping setups, but this is a must-have for this bull market. Now, Jeremy, you know, you got some crypto, you got some ADA, you got some SNEC.
I do.
I was talking last week, I finally feel comfortable buying more Cardano. And you have a good chunk of SNEC. So I think you're going to be doing all right.
I'm staking SNEC.
You're staking SNEC. How much are you earning on that?
I haven't checked in a long time.
Fair enough.
I wanted to just stake SNEC and then check after the election.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, let's say things go well. Which vehicle are you going to get? Because I'm kind of sold on the Sequoia. Might armor it, but which vehicle are you going to get?
I also like a little bit of outdoorsing, off-roading, and camping.
Okay.
I would love a big tent like that on top of my car. And I think the one that works best for me and my lifestyle would be the Subaru Outback Wilderness Package.
Subaru? You
Outback
psycho.
Wilderness.
You absolute psycho.
Extraordinarily,
why do you like Subarus?
Extraordinarily fuel efficient. They have an inside of the Wilderness Package comes with a inside that you can just like hose down. So perfect for having a dog.
Okay.
A lot of off-roading capabilities. Just a reliable car in all weather conditions.
You know, maybe I'm bearish on Subarus because I grew up in Boulder and all the Subaru owners were just complete assholes.
That is not my experience with Subarus. So I mostly just look at the facts. And something I care about a lot is fuel economy, but I also care about practicality. And I think for the type of camping trips that I do, but I also do a lot of city driving because I live in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I think the Subaru hits that sweet spot.
Fair enough.
And I'm not somebody that likes to let culture tell me how to think or feel. Right now, I drive a Toyota 4Runner, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
But it drinks a little more gas than I would like.
Does it really? It's only V6.
I have one from 98 that's
gotcha.
four-wheel drive.
That's true. That is true.
So it drinks a little more gas than I would like.
Yeah, I mean, like the Subarus, well, on top of the cultural thing, I used to fix them. And I do not like how they're laid out.
Okay.
I really do not like how they're laid out. Isaac, which vehicle are you going to buy?
I am going to be buying a C8 Z06 Corvette.
You savage.
Yes, that's been my dream car since 3, Corvettes in general. Because obviously the C8 wasn't out. When I was 3. But
I like it. Those things look sick.
They are like, it's like of a Lamborghini and a Ferrari just.
With American muscle.
With American muscle. And
I mean,
ladies and gentlemen, C8 Vet.
Yeah, I want to know what's in the chat. What are you going to be buying? I mean, on top of a tank. I mean, I know everyone out there
everyone
wants
needs a tank.
But let me know which car you're going to be picking up. I am going to be talking about laddering out more and more come the second quarter of 2025. So you can expect me to shift my conversation from hunting around for fun altcoins and meme coins and more Bitcoin entry points to how to ladder out in Q2 of 2025. And honestly, if we outpace what I'm expecting, then you will hear me talking about it then, because I don't want everyone sitting here watching the prices go all the way up and all the way down, riding these bags in a roundabout way. That is not what I am here to do. I am here to change my financial future. So with that being said, I think it's about time to hit the bag. I think I got a lot of, I don't feel like I've turned a new leaf. It's interesting. A lot of people think I'm calmer today because I'm actually feeling more aggravated than I have since January 5th of 2020. Like,
whoa.
Yeah. But I'm trying to be reasonable about it.
Okay.
You know,
that shows growth, you know, patience and stuff like that.
I'm trying to be patient. They're talking the Rivian.
I bought Rivian stock when it was $14 a share. I'm a genius because
where's it at now?
It's way up.
Really?
Yeah, I did great on that. I sold it. I 2x'd when I sold.
Really?
Yes.
On the stock market.
Uh-huh.
Very nice.
I did it on Robinhood.
Let me see. You did it on
I did
Robinhood.
it on Robinhood because
Well,
I needed to buy like in that second because I was working for Amazon at the time, and they just got the huge exclusive Amazon electric vehicle contract.
What are you, some kind of insider? It's now it's $13.45. You sold it like a great time, bro.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, dude, it's even cheaper. Look at this. Let's go to the 3-year. Oh man, look at that release. Oof,
Yeah, the release was crazy.
sad. $120 down to $13. I know that they have stores around here, but I'm not very bullish on the
I
electric
like
vehicle.
Rivians, but
Yeah.
I'm not extremely bullish on Rivians. But if they overcome the like, you know, sort of janky, not Tesla-esque feeling, they're a great vehicle. They're a good car. They got money coming from Amazon. That was what made me bullish, right? Because if you get an exclusive contract with Amazon to do all their electric vehicles,
That's a pretty big deal.
that's a pretty big deal, and it's money coming into your company that you can use to improve the product.
Dude, Amazon is like taking over commerce right now. This is kind of crazy to think about. Like all I see is Amazon trucks going to and from.
Yeah.
And they're
It's kinda
listed as a
crazy.
green company.
Interesting.
Right?
I haven't heard that before, but yeah.
No, they buy
green
all the
company.
carbon credits.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's how they're able to label themselves as green. That's just the scam built into this whole system. It's like a company that is obviously not green is listed as green because they buy a bunch of carbon credits. It's just absolutely incredible. They lose $250,000 per vehicle to produce. What the hell?
I don't.
Holy God.
I don't know if I. Think
That's hard
true.
to believe.
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
That's hard to believe. Ooh, someone bringing up the 67 GT or the 65 Coupe. Those are amazing. The
Sure,
Mustang
but-
GTs.
I don't think I'll ever buy
That's
a
a
vintage.
that's a beautiful
vehicle,
car.
You know?
I built a 1971. It was a Chevy K10.
Great.
It was a C10, but it was the first year that they came out with 4x4s. So you can do it. It's just a pain in the ass to always be replacing some odds and ends on it. The fuel pump, other things will go off on you. So yeah, I mean, I think it's either Resvani Vengeance if I hit it real big, or the Toyota Sequoia with a little bit of armory. So, man,
You have to get our secret out now.
oh yeah, okay,
That's true.
all right. So me and Isaac have decided. I have found the next direction for my musical future. It is a heavy metal Southern hip hop band with me and Isaac. And you're going to be on the guitar, right?
Of course.
He's going to be on the guitar. And we're both going to be singing. I'll probably give you the choruses and stuff like that. You know,
the
but
deep gutturals, you know.
now we need ideas for the band name. And, you know, I might bring BJ in on this. He likes playing the bass quite a bit. And we need to find Huddy is a drummer, but I mean, I don't know.
Double bass drummer.
I know we need a
Who
double
knows?
bass drummer.
That's true.
So
Let's take 1-2 minutes. Put your best band names into the chat right now.
yeah, I
And
mean,
we'll see how we
'cause
go.
we need to. I need to figure out what to name it. My other band, Flood of Souls. Very sad that I can't go back there. They're playing some shows, and the lead singer that took my spot's all worried he's gonna screw it up. And it's just, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do. I'm out here in
Yeah.
Georgia. I can't really go back to Colorado to and from. You're in Paulding County though. This is perfect.
That's correct.
You
I'm in
know?
Paulding County. I'm like, what,
We need to
25
find a
minutes away?
drummer in Paulding County because I don't want him driving across the the
Yeah.
state. That's the thing about it. You can't have him too far away. Dance Gavin Dance maybe.
So it's already a band, but if we're going to do bands that are already banned, I think you should guys name yourself Ice 9 Kills.
I can't take that. What Ice 10 Heels?
Ice 10 Heels.
Ice 10 Heels?
Sunset Betrayal of the Lilacs. That was my submission.
God. Oh my God.
It has a flower name in it. You love that.
I'm gonna have to think of names. I'm gonna have to think of this, but I'm gonna go hit the heavy bag and get some of this aggression I got built up in me out. Appreciate every single one of you out there. Share the stream, like the stream, support this channel, you guys. Become a member. You can join the black site. Go to basement.supplies. We made it real easy to get into the black site here, and you can essentially get all of the inside info. We're doing hydroponic information rollouts here. We're doing all of the things that you need to know to become literally ungovernable. So if you want to support the channel in a big way, become a black site member. You can also, you know, just go pick up one of these Arculus cold storage wallets. I had code base 10. They are metal, maybe the best, maybe the finest. Come in this sleek design. Use code base 10. Click the link down in the description. And I'm not going to tell you what's coming this week. We have a massive guest. coming on. Ooh, Crypto Cody wants to drum. Crypto Cody, we need to talk about this, bro. I want to find a drummer big time. So
hit us up on X or in the Discord.
Yeah, hit us up on X. Here's my X account. Just if you are a drummer out there and you're looking to hit us up at Druth Crypto. I will never DM you about crypto. Opinions are my own. Get off my lawn. Here I am at Druth Crypto. So hit me up.
But can you double bass drum?
That's a big thing. I want to make sure.
And if you want to know about trading cards, you can look me up. I'm at Mox Jeremy, M-O-X Jeremy.
You make money off trading cards.
That's correct.
A lot of money. You kind of blow me away with how many cards you make money off of in these freaking. You're involved with something like completely separate from crypto, but not really. Because aren't cards commodities?
It's interesting because I sold my collection of Magic cards recently for like $1,200 or something, and it was a pretty small collection.
Yeah.
And they did certainly all go up because I acquired them pre-pandemic, and then after the pandemic, they all shot up and stuff like that. But the secondary market with regards to trading cards is like not something I like to focus on that much, and I'm more like focused on the gameplay aspects a lot of the time.
Fair enough. Mouse Rat, that's an interesting one.
BJ in here, he's got some cards that he buys and sells cards.
Yeah. Well, I think he's still got the Black Lotus. We're going on a tangent here.
Tangent.
Oh yeah,
Let's
baby.
go punch the bag. I appreciate every single one of you out there. Support the channel. Hit the like button on
Thank
the way
you, weird
out.
sister. You're not alone.
Yeah. We'll see you guys in the afternoon tomorrow. Peace out.